Hello, everyone. This is Anna, and I'm really pleased to be with the biggest entrepreneur of this business, Dave Daughtrey, a person that is so humble and he loves to share his knowledge and expertise with all of us to take us to the next level. And so today we are going to learn lots of him. So please, everyone, listen up, take notes, because really his time is really valuable and he's taking this time to be with us, to teach us, so we can go and be as successful as he is. So I'm really, really pleased to share this room with you, Dave. I love you so much for all you've done for all of us and for everything I've learned. And every time that you say something, even though you have said it before, is like sticking in my mind. And I'm starting thinking as a business person, as you are, like a earner. So thank you for your time, and we are ready to listen from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna, for your words, and thank you for your support. You're always active and on our calls and bringing guests. Congratulations. Hopefully, your new affiliate is working with you, and you're working together to build your For Life business and your For Life team. So, what I want to do today is focus on what I did on Mentor Monday a bit, and that's the 90-day plan of massive action, basically. Just taking 90 days of your life and saying, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to focus. And what happens in those 90 days is actually amazing. We were just talking about the detox. A lot of people are getting involved in the detox programs that are going on right now with Claudia and Dr. Ronnie and Jillian and Gabby. And many of you, they're participating in the detox programs. Of course, anytime you do something that requires some action on your part, there's going to be some sort of change. All right. Now, in the case of the detox, it's detoxing and losing weight, and really losing inflammation. Well, with this 90-day run, it's focused on business. All right. But at the same time, it's important to understand our products. And we'll get into that in just a minute. When I started For Life back in 1998, I really didn't have much of a choice. I just locked myself in my little apartment because I had no car. I had to walk to the store when I bought groceries. I had no money really. I was broke. I don't like to say poor because poor is a state of mind. It was just a matter of time to get back again. I just needed an opportunity, and that's what For Life gave me. But I also had a plan. Somebody can give you a vehicle, but if you don't climb in that vehicle and put it in gear and take some action and step on that pedal, you're not going to move. So you have to drive. The same thing with this. You have to drive the vehicle. Well, in order to do that, just like a vehicle, a car, you have to have a plan or a roadmap. Would you say I'm going to drive from California to New York and I'm just going to do it with no map at all? Well, you'll eventually get there by asking people along the way. But I tell you what, with a map, you're guaranteed you're going to always be going the right direction, or nowadays with navigation. Well, when you have a plan, at least you're focused in a particular direction. You're not like the wind blowing around wherever. So you have to have a plan. A 90-day plan is a really good plan because you give it, during those 90 days, you give it your all. And what happens is you develop habits. Those 90 days actually set you up really it can set you up for the rest of your career, the rest of your life, because of those habits you develop. One of the habits I feel is the most important is the habit of self-analysis. You have to each day analyze, what did you do? Because this is 90 days. You're going to hold yourself accountable. And if you don't feel that you can hold yourself accountable, find someone else to hold you accountable. Tell your spouse, your significant other, your children, somebody, your best friend, say, look, I'm going to do something for 90 days. All right. And I want you to hold me accountable. I'm gonna be talking to you almost every day, maybe every other day, but I'm gonna be telling you, what I did and the progress I made. And you're not always gonna feel like you're making progress every day, because some days, you know, there's a song by John Denver. I don't know if you even remember John Denver. Some days are diamonds. Some days are diamonds and some days are stone. You know, some days are up and some days are down. That's just life. It's that way in anything. Embrace it. It's no big deal. The whole point is, with a 90-day program, you're going to develop. You're going to develop skills. You're going to develop habits. All right. And all of those are the part of the process of success. It's a process. So what I want to do now is to share with you. This is in the app as well. You can open up your app. If you go to the media library and you just scroll down, you will see the 90-day fast start guide. All right. Now the physical app is in English. It's in Spanish, or the physical guide in Spanish on one side, English on the other. Of course, we're talking English. I did this in Spanish yesterday. And so there's a couple things that are really important. Many of you have heard my four-step plan of action. Well, even with this 90-day plan, the first thing is really important. Set yourself up for success. Read the guide, read it, but you'll see right away. The first thing you want to do is set yourself up. Have you downloaded the app? Well, that's a no-brainer. You got to get the app. You're going to be using the app a lot. You're going to be sending links to people. You're going to be sending profiles to people as you talk to them. Say, look, I want to send you something to look at. Just check this out. And then you're going to invite. But you have to plant the seed first. So the app is going to be one of your biggest tools that you use to send information to people. Okay. So get the app. Number two, make sure that you have your My Shop set up. You've got to set your shop up. Have you put your personal link in there? And you can do that on the website by going to 4life.com, logging in, and then going to your account and doing it that way, or My Shop. Go to My Shop. All right. In the app, same thing. Go to your control panel by clicking the three lines on the upper right. Your control panel opens up. Look at My Shop, click on it, and you can set it up. All right. You put your picture in there. You want people to look at your smiling face. Put your picture in there. You want to make sure that you have your personal link. When you send something to someone, if it's just a number, 4life.com, 124786395, they're not going to remember that. But if you put in there 4life.com, Elena Ayala, they'll remember that. You see, they know you. All right. If they don't know you, at least they'll know the name. So make sure you have your personal link. That does take usually about 24 hours for 4Life to approve it. They want to make sure that it's something related to you and you're not just making something up. If it's to your business, anything like that, it's fine. All right. Next, you want to make sure your email is there, all your contact information, your email, your phone number, all of that. And you can put your rank if you want. You can opt to put it in, not put it in. It's up to you. But you want your virtual shop to be set up. Okay. So make sure that's done. Very simple. Only takes you a few minutes. All right. Next, once that stuff is done, now you have to start thinking. Your number one responsibility in this business is prospecting, marketing. That's what we get paid to do. We don't have to deal with all the other things traditional business people deal with. Today I got to deal with my employees, or I got to deal with the employee taxes. I got to deal with rent, and I got to do with overhead expenses and pay the bills. And you don't have to do that. You just focus on marketing. Well, what do we do in marketing? We don't go spend $1 million on television ads. We don't go spend $10,000 on radio. You could do that if you wanted to, but I call this the poor person's business. I don't like to say poor, let's just say broke, all right? Because it doesn't cost anything to talk to someone, and you develop skills, the skill of influencing, the skill of inspiring someone. through your enthusiasm, through your conviction, through the work you're doing, you inspire others. So you have to be honest with yourself, though. When was the last time you actually influenced someone to do anything? When was the last time you inspired someone? Well, you're going to be doing a lot of that now. All right. And it's wonderful because it's like a snowball. The more you push it and roll it, the bigger it gets. You see? So it's kind of self-perpetuating, if you will. But you have to analyze a bit about your market. And then we'll talk about the warm market, cold market in just a second. But what's real critical is what's going to keep you moving forward is your desire. All right. In fact, desire actually comes before analyzing your prospects. All right. Because your desire, and that's why the 90 days is so important, because it's easy to say, oh, tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll pick up the phone and call someone tomorrow. I'll send that email tomorrow. I'll put that post up tomorrow. All right. It's easy to procrastinate. All right. Look, I've done it. All right. My tough one is I'm always busy. I am busy, but the point is, if you're going to do that 90-day run, well, every single day you're thinking about your business and you're thinking about why you're doing this business. Now, some of you may have heard the story of my little tomato. All right. I'll tell you a little story now that really impacted me. This actually was after I had done a 90-day run, but I was, part of it was before or during the 90-day run, and then part of it happened after. The part that I think is inspirational actually happened after I did my first 90-day run. I actually got my first car in For Life, not through my For Life income. I was making, a few $100s, and then it was $400 something dollars, and then $1,000, just enough money to survive. I couldn't afford a car. Well, I was dating Gabby, all right? So I knew that, her family kind of looked at me like, what does this guy do? Is he like a door-to-door shoe salesman? What does he do? And I didn't have anything to offer. I was sleeping on the floor in an apartment. I had no furniture. I had no car. I had some clothes, and that was it. I was starting life all over again. Well, a friend of mine, apparently he was quite inspired because every time he would come over to see me, I was working my butt off, talking to people. I had a little headset, right, that I got at Radio Shack. Some of you might remember Radio Shack. They're gone now. But a little teeny headset I had on talking to people all day long, up until sometimes midnight, because I'd be calling Hawaii, right? One day he comes over and he goes, man, every time I come over, you're on the phone talking to people. And he said, you got the eye of the tiger. You're going to be successful. I know it just because of your discipline. And I said, yeah, I've got a strong desire, right? Well, he showed up one day and gave me the keys to a car. He gave me a car, a Toyota Corolla. It was an old car. I'd say it's probably about maybe, 10, 12 years old. Gave me the car. And he said to me, he goes, it's out in the alley behind the apartment. He says, it's red. Well, I went back there. It was red at one time, but I called it my little tomato. You know how tomatoes aren't quite really red. They're kind of opaque. And I called him my little tomato. I gave him a hug. I actually cried. I couldn't believe somebody would give me a car. It cost him $5,000. And I have a car. And so now I could go places. Well, guess what? Didn't have the car for very long. And it was actually Christmas Day. Christmas Day, I'm driving down a street, 7 o'clock in the morning. Not many people are out driving around at 7 a.m. on Christmas morning other than Santa Claus. Most people are home, all right, with their family. I'm driving down the street. Rather than paying attention to where I'm driving, I'm looking at these beautiful lights on the side of the road that people had put down the road. It looked really pretty. And I went through a stop sign. The only other person driving in town that day in a minivan hit me, broadsided me, T-bone right on the driver's side, and pretty hard. And the doors were all smashed in. on my car. I couldn't climb out the driver's side. I had to climb out the passenger side. Well, I got out of the car. I made sure that the other people were okay. The police, the ambulance came and all that. And there was a lady driving the minivan, and the damage to her car wasn't that bad, honestly. My car was crunched. Well, I looked at my car and I thought, wow, she hit me right perfectly between the wheels. Both the front and back door were smashed in, couldn't open them. I climbed back in on the passenger side and drove that car away. Insurance totaled it. They sent me a check. Well, I gave Hector back his money, paid him back. For 6 months, I climbed in and out of the passenger side of that car. And let me tell you, it's wintertime, it was raining. It's embarrassing because I had to put that gray duct tape, because when the doors are smashed in, open the top. And it was embarrassing climbing in and out of the passenger side. But every single day I was doing that, I was telling myself, why? 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 Why am I willing to pick up that phone? Why am I willing to talk to another person? Why am I willing to talk to my people's people? Why am I willing to talk to my people's people? Why am I willing, and in some cases I'd borrow Gabby's car and go drive to do a meeting somewhere, and come back at 2 or 3 in the morning. All right. Why am I? And I'd take my crashed up car, drive to her house, get her Lexus, drive it to a meeting, go to the meeting in her car, go back and drop it off in her driveway, take my car and go back home to my apartment. Why was I willing to do that? You have to have a strong enough reason, you guys. You have to have a strong why. My why at the time was I was sick and tired of feeling the way I was feeling and being broke. And I wanted to prove to Gabby and to others that I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. And she would always tell me, she said, I don't love you for your money. It's true. I was broke. But the point is, what is your why? Think about it. And during a 90-day run, you think about it every day. Now, here's what happened. So after driving around town, it's embarrassing to drive in the daytime, climbing in and out of the passenger side. I'm a big guy. Toyota Corolla is a small car. It's got a little console in the middle. Well, I would always go do any shopping I had to do at night. Albertsons was open, late at night. I would go sometimes at 11, midnight, and get what I needed. Well, one time I had to go during the daytime. And I parked far away from the entrance, the door, across the parking lot so nobody could see me. Well, as soon as I parked, some lady pulls up in a minivan of all things and parks next to me. I'm thinking, okay, I'll just wait till she gets out. She gets out and leaves. So I'm getting ready to make my escape out of my car. I had gotten in and out of that car enough times to where that little console in the middle, I grabbed the top of it. And as I went to go lift my legs over, it broke. The top came off. I face planted on the seat next to me. I looked up through the passenger window and there were 3 kids in that car laughing at me. Let me tell you, you talk about emotion. First emotion was sadness. Like, how in the world am I in this position? Driving around in a smashed up car, climbing in and out of the passenger side, can't afford anything, have no money. All right. That emotion left quickly. I don't dwell on those things, but I'm human. All right. It's emotion. Number 2, wanted to strangle the kids for laughing at me. Right. They were laughing, watching me try to climb out of this car. That's okay. Don't dwell on that emotion either. I'm not going to strangle any kids. The third emotion had the greatest impact, really. I looked up in the roof inside the car and I just said, God, Father in heaven, whatever it takes, I will do it as long as it's legal. I'll do it to be successful in this business, successful in life, successful as a networker, which I chose as a business career. I'll do what I have to do. And here's what's interesting. After that experience, I went back and I had a little bit of an attitude change. I started every night. I'd analyze how the day was. I'd go through my notes, and I still use the same system, paper. I keep notes on, who I talked to, what's said, what we might have in common, and then follow up. You have to get back to them. Now using a computer or a cell phone app these days might be a bit easier, but I'm old school. I like to write notes, and I doodle. I doodle a lot. If you go back and listen to my old notes, a lot of doodling, because I'll be talking to people. I'm doodling. So I went back and went to work, and I stopped dwelling on how long it would take, what rank I was going to be. In fact, you guys, when I made platinum, I got a call. I was in Malaysia at the time, working with my downline now. Now, we're talking years later. We're talking 2006, all right, from 98 to 06. But I never really focused on what rank I was going to hit. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you need to have a goal. But my attitude was, if I just bust my butt every day and talk, work, have balance. I got 5 kids, Gabby and I got married, we had Brandon and Ryan together. But the point is, I was disciplined. But every single day I would analyze how that day was, who I talked to, and what I was going to do tomorrow. And it took me 10 minutes to go through real quick, and I'd fall asleep because I was so exhausted. And I'd wake up the next day and do it over again. The power of discipline and repetition. Just repeat it. That's what I love about this business. All right. You throw something new at me, I get discombobulated. But I can do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what I did. But I was in Malaysia when I got a phone call from Nathan Larson and Kevin Moore. He worked at 4Life at the time. They called me up and said, guess what? I said, you guys, it's like 3 a.m. over here. What's going on? You're a platinum. I'm a platinum. Awesome. All right. Okay. I'm going back to bed. And that's kind of, I just always focused on just being active, working. But my daily goals, all right, your why, have a strong enough why. And then in your prospecting goals, break it down to the day. And that's kind of where, if you want to be a diamond, or if you want to be a builder, let's just start with builder. 3. You can sign up 3 people your first month. Make the calls, talk to people, use your influence, be inspirational, invite them to the team, invite them to meet your upline, invite them to the community, health and wellness, abundance, freedom, all these great things. Most people want that. So this 3, all right? Now getting that first one is a big milestone. You sign up that first person, that's huge. You now have made that first step. But then go for the 3, all right? But diamond can be in the back of your mind, but how are you going to get to diamond? It all goes back to the 90-day plan, and every single day having a little self-analysis, and then having, let's say your goal is to talk to 2 people. All right. Tomorrow I'm talking to 2 people. You only talk to 1, let's say. Okay. Halfway there. You did half. What are you going to do tomorrow? What's going to be different tomorrow than today? All right. So you have to psych yourself up and say, okay, tomorrow, and think of who you're going to call. Go jog your memory. Think, okay, I can talk. Now, understand something. If your goal is to talk to 2 people, you can do 1 presentation, have 2 new people on it, and you hit that goal in 1 presentation. My goal was 10 a day, but it didn't mean 10 separate presentations. Some days it did, but most of the time I would get 2 or 3 people on a conference call, and pretty soon what was happening, keep in mind, if your goal is 2, 4, 1, 10, whatever it is, 5, it doesn't mean your people all the time either. It can be your people's people. Anna has a new affiliate now she's working with. All right. Nelly Red. Nelly Red? Did I get her name? I think I did.
Yes, Nelly Red.
Nelly Red. Okay. I'll say Nelly. So Nelly, let's say that she, says, Anna, I've got 5 people that I think would be really interested in this. Well, if Anna did 1 presentation with 5 new invites from Nelly, Anna just got 5 in 1 presentation. That counts as 5. That's how I set my goal at 10. You see, some days I could do 2 or 3 presentations and hit my 10. I wouldn't stop. Again, for me, it was all about 8 to faint. Okay, that was just me. 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm hitting the phones. The phone was my tool. I wasn't going to drive around in a crashed up car and talk about making money. Right. So Yeah, I borrowed Gabby's car. I borrowed her Lexus when I had to go do a meeting, but most of the time it was just working the phones. And it was good for me because I developed that skill, of just talking to people. And I was very blessed that when I found my first person that wanted to really build with me, Jeff Gilbers, he opened up his door and started inviting people. It's wonderful when you have someone that starts bringing people to the phone. I mean, bringing them for you to talk to. And I've got one now that's fun. I have fun working with. I'll show you guys here real quick. So you might know this guy here. Can you see what he says there? I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Con nuestros futuros presidenciales. That's Anderson. All right. That's what he does. He'll call me up sometimes, say, Dave, I've got 2 or 3 or 4 people. They're going to be on the call or do a call, whatever. But the point is, one presentation, multiple people. Okay. Now, let's talk about the warm market, cold market. You have to analyze your market. Who do you know? Okay. And then you have to be honest about how influential you are. Some people are quite influential. They have no problem saying, hey, here's what I'm doing. I recommend you to give it a look. I'm going to work this. If you come along, you'll be successful with me. Now, I like to use Miguel Bermudez as an example. 98 years old. 98, you guys. And here, he's a new platinum elite. Now, he's very influential. He's the head of his church. So for years and years and years, he'd been talking to people about gospel. All right. Well, he used that platform to talk to people about abundance, health, wellness, financial freedom, all these things that God really wants you to have. But he's not just going to give it to you. You have to develop it. It's all about the development. All right. You can lose money anytime, but your development, your skills, you don't lose that because you developed it. You see? So as he talked to people, he uses his platform. Some are interested, some are not. It's okay. Well, that's a very influential person. Most people, they have to start at the bottom and work their way up. I call it the food chain. All right. I'll get a call now and then. Somebody say, Dave, I got a big fish. Can you help me? Well, what are you calling me for? They're calling me because they consider me a person that can talk to a big fish. All right. Why? Because I've been doing it longer, maybe. Because I've made a lot of money, maybe. Because I just, the experience. It's all of those. But I am no different than anybody else. It's just that every time you do it, you're going to gain, you're going to grow, you're going to develop. All right. That's why I say action's the most important thing. But analyze your market and then how influential can you be over those people? Warm market is the toughest. Why? Because they can judge you. They know you. They can be critical of you. It's just like the other one you did. You did one of those last year. This is another one. All right. Or, whatever it may be. Those things never work. Look, I learned a long time ago. If you listen to the negative people, you'll be just like them. I don't want to be like them. One of my favorite talks of all time is Paul Robeson from Kentucky, Danville, Kentucky, has a Southern drawl, high school teacher, football coach, quit teaching to do network marketing, became a multi-millionaire. He's passed away. He passed away a few years back of cancer. He's got a tape you can find on YouTube called A Different Way of Thinking. A Different Way of Thinking by Paul Robeson. Everything he says is just, and you'll laugh. It'll make you really laugh. It's funny. But a lot of it's just common sense. He talked about the first time he went and knocked on someone's door to go talk to him about it, give him a presentation. He said, I knocked on their door and I prayed to God they would not answer. And we've all gone through that. It's happened to me making phone calls. Hope they don't answer. And then when they do answer, you're like, you're on the spot, right? But that's how you develop. That's how you grow. But I love that tape, A Different Way of Thinking by Paul Robeson, right? But he said he went back and talked to one of his high school teacher friends, and his high school teacher friend said, "Oh, those things never work anyways." And he looked at her and he thought, "How do you know they don't work? Are you an expert at it? No, you've never even done it." You see, so I chose personally, Dave Daughtrey. I learned this at a young age. You are who you associate yourself with. Everybody surrounds themselves with people and you end up being pretty much just like them, and your income level is close to theirs. So start associating yourself with people that move you up. They make you better. They push you. That's what you want. That's what a good coach does. They push you. They get that potential out of you. So as you're looking at your warm market, there's always going to be people that are going to be the naysayers. That's fine. But no means no for today, especially when it comes to health and wellness. Right? I've had people call me up and say, "Hey, do you have anything that's good for kidneys?" Recently, I had somebody call me up and say, "Do you have anything good for lungs?" Yeah, lung. Let's get you our lung product. So people know I'm in health and wellness. And so they'll come to me and say, "Do you have a product for this, a product for that?" That happens all the time. So analyze your warm market, your influence over that warm market. But here's what's great about cold market. Get good at making new friends. Go. Chamber of Commerce is a place you can go. All right. I recently went to a seminar where the man was a lawyer and he was selling trusts. All right. Great place to prospect people. These are people that actually are looking at getting living trusts and they want to save money. They're money-minded people. All right. You can talk to people all over in church, sporting events, clubs, bars, wherever you go and hang out, wherever you socialize. Just in that 90-day run, make sure this is the habit you want to develop, you guys. Make sure you've always got your antennas up, your thinking cap on, all right? And every time an opportunity arises that you can talk to someone about your new business, you do it. Even sometimes if it's not the most appropriate thing to do. I've done it. I did it at a funeral. All right. I was invited to a funeral. And it was with Gabby, one of Gabby's friends. And it wasn't while everybody was, during the wake or anything. But afterwards we sat down and we got a bite to eat. Talking. I have a hard time just chit-chatting without mentioning something about For Life, health and wellness, network marketing. It just comes out somewhere. It's a habit. Develop that habit. All right. I don't annoy people, but I think I create curiosity when I talk to them. Most people are really curious. Okay. But here's what's great about cold market, and we'll move on. They can't judge you. They don't know if you started yesterday or you started 30 years ago. They don't know the difference. So you can be who you want to be. And that's where you can make the greatest changes and go, you know what? I nailed that presentation. And that's how I am, by the way. I want to nail my presentations. Every presentation that I give, even today, I try to put like chess. They make a move, I make a move. I'm going to beat you. All right. You're going to make a move, I'm going to make it. So what I say depends on what you say. When I learn what you do for a living, your background, where you live, you get to know you a little bit, your likes and so forth. Are you an animal lover? I'm an animal lover. So it's like playing a game of chess. I want to win. By winning, it just simply means I want them to, first of all, agree with me. Maybe this is how I am, but I love this business model. Who wouldn't want to have a home-based business making millions of dollars, building a global network, having all the benefits of residual income, traveling the world, working with a team, positiveness, everything, having your own agenda, all the wonderful things. Who wouldn't want that? So I try to get people to kind of nod their head and say, you're right, I agree. So really it just comes down to, do you believe? Do you believe? And I can show you plenty of people that are doing it because they believe. You see, so all of this attitude, the way that you work and talk and build and think and all that, really is your choice. So if you think like a platinum, talk like a platinum, have the discipline of a platinum, if you do all those things that a platinum does, we're no different. Guess what'll happen? You will get to platinum because you're doing the things a platinum does. But it all goes back to these 90 days that you have to set your goals and have the discipline to go through it. All right. Cold market. I love it. I love cold market. In fact, I find it fun. I find it fun talking to people just off the cuff. You know, I get criticized. I had one guy call me an estafador, which is a con man. So I was a con man. You con people. What am I con people? No, I teach people how to build a business from home in health and wellness industry. That's it. You know, so anyhow, next, you prepared yourself, analyze warm market. You're talking the cold market, the close. The number one reason that people, and honestly, I don't have an answer for it other than the number one reason. Well, we'll say this is an answer, but I don't have an answer for the answer. Fear. The number one reason people don't take action and they don't ask that final question. You ready to do this? Let's do it. Get out that credit card. All right. Or get out that checkbook. If you're going to write a check, everyone pays with a credit card, debit card these days. And I'm going to send you a link. Let's go through it together. Pick your products. We're going to do this. You look, every single person we talk to, you and me, they're all sitting on the fence. You got one leg on one side, one leg on the other, sitting on a fence. Your job and my job is to kick them. Now, if they're my prospect, I kick them pretty hard. I bruise them sometimes, all right? Because of my prospect, I can do that. If they're your prospect, I'm a little more gentle, all right? Because I don't want to offend. I don't want to come across too strong. I'm a bit more, I use my filter of what I say a lot if I'm talking to my people's people, okay? But you've got to kick them. Now, you don't know what side they're going to fall on, but if you don't kick them, they're not going to fall off the fence at all. No or yes, all right? You know, and what I don't like is in Spanish, people say, si Dios quiere, if God wants. He wants. I talk to him. He wants, you know? So if he wants, the question is, do you want? All right? Now, if they don't believe you, that's a simple one. How do you know? Have you tried it? Have you gotten involved? Have you given it 90 days? Have you given it 6 months? Really, honestly, have you? No. Okay. If it comes down to I just don't want to, that's desire. You can't force someone to have desire. All right. So that becomes a timing issue. I have people call me all the time and say, you know what, Dave, I'm ready. In fact, you know, I'm proud of my daughter, Leslie. She signed up a guy after 2 years. The guy's name is Mike Hardaway. I can show you her target rank report. Mike just signed up a few days ago, fast start, 400 life points. And he called her up. She'd been for 2 years calling him. Now he's a businessman. He owns an air conditioning company. It's hot right now where he lives. We're talking like 125, 130 degrees, you guys. It's brutal out in El Centro, California. I call it El Centro. All right. It's hot. Well, he's sick and tired of that business. He wants to do something new, something that he can really grow and develop. She signed him up. All right. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Timing is everything. You never know when the timing is going to be right, but you got to kick them. If the timing's right, they'll fall in your favor. Yeah, let's do this. All right. And you might catch them all of a sudden. It's like flu season and they're getting sick all the time. You know what? I'm getting sick all the time. I do need something. I'm going to try your immune boost. Great. Start with the products. Right. And if they're complaining about the economy and how they can't afford to buy eggs because they're so expensive, tell them, look, why don't you do this? Make an extra few $100, extra $500. Try. Come on. Invite. All right. Get them to try. Use your influence. Okay. The close. Don't be afraid of that close. All right. Now, here's what's important. We call it the close, but it's not really a close. It's an open. You've not opened a relationship. The one thing you don't want to do is go out and sell, sponsor. And you have all these people on your front line and you've not duplicated. So you want to duplicate. And the best way to duplicate really is involvement. By getting your people, and that's what we talk about the team, getting your people involved. Involvement creates commitment. That's why Claudia talking earlier about the detox program. They've got time for life. People get there, they read the testimonies, they get on the calls, they see the results and what's happening with people. And then you'll see people like Claudia hitting presidential diamond and Jillian hitting presidential elite with new diamonds and diamond elites. Next thing you know, you're going to see bronzes and bronze elites. And eventually people are like, you know what? If they're doing it, then I can get involved and do it too. And it's really that simple. All right. But you want to be able to duplicate. I find the easiest way to duplicate, and this is probably one of my biggest challenges, honestly. I do consider myself a pretty decent networker. And sometimes I like to take control of the conversation and just jump in and do it. Like, let me just do it. Let me talk. When the reality is, I need them to talk. That's how they develop and they grow. So I got to zip it and just listen. All right. I got to remember that God gave me 2 ears and 1 mouth. So I listen more than I talk. But there's times where I want to just jump in and talk. We got to listen. All right. It's all about the other person's needs. That could be the new person you just sponsored. They need to develop, they need to grow. And one thing that we'll find out about our group, the Ambassadors in Motion, Embajadores en Acción, is that we have people from Kenya, Uganda, Africa that get on that have never done anything like this in their life. And all of a sudden they start participating and they come out of their shell, and yeah, a professional networker might jump on and go, oh my gosh, I just listened to this guy a couple of days ago, someone else, it was like, this slam dunk professional motivator speaker. You know what? Every good networker was once a bad networker. We all started somewhere, honestly. No one's born knowing network marketing. Yeah, some people got certain social skills and so forth, but we all learned this. We didn't go to college. We learned it from someone else, the power of duplication. Best way to duplicate, keep your people involved, okay? And always offer to present with them, okay? If they always remind them, Maria, do you have someone that, if I was your sponsor, do you have somebody that I can talk to with you? Your people, my presentation. Always offer to present with your people. Wouldn't it be wonderful if your phone was ringing every day and someone in your downline is calling you? Can you help me talk to this person? They're interested. I talked to them, but I need someone to help me in the close, so to speak, or introduce them to the upline so you can solidify, so you can give your testimony, and validate what I've told them. That's how you duplicate. Okay. And then the last that I want to talk about, which I've already kind of touched on really, is getting connected and staying connected. You don't want to do this business by yourself. You've got to stay connected. So just make sure that you're you're in a WhatsApp group, the group that you are in, that you're following the For Life US sales team, Claudia, if you want to help me out, or if somebody wants to put that in the chat on Facebook, US sales team, it's called. They don't go by For Life. They made that decision because just being called US sales team got a little more liberal on the things that they can say, a little bit more wiggling room, if you will, on things they can say. So it's a US sales team, U.S. sales team. All right. That's For Life. But make sure when you set yourself up as well, your account, that you turn on all the notifications with your email. You want For Life to send you anything going on in the For Life world, in your marketing. All right. Anything going on, make sure you turn those on. All right. That's in your account. Just go to For Life, the panel, control panel, and go to your account and make sure you turn all those things on. Okay. But you want to get connected and stay connected. Understand, a 90-day run is a sprint. This is a marathon. Okay. Your life is a marathon, but it's a marathon full of sprints. I have times where I sprint hard and then I take a little break. Now, when I take a break, I've had times where I've taken a pretty decent break. In 2011, I went to China. Gavin and I went to China. We traveled a bit, done that. But that's after I had, number of platinums, below platinums, that type of thing. In fact, sometimes I feel lonely. My platinums don't even call me anymore. That's okay. That's called duplication. They know I'm here. I know that I can pick up the phone. It works 2 ways. I reached out to Juan recently, talked to him, and I saw Arminio and Lily and Anka Molina and Hugo and Liliana Johnson. Saw them all up in LA, right, Helena? We're up in LA together at the event, you know. So I see them out and about, you know, when we're at different events together. I'm going to Brazil. I saw Jeff Al Gilbers and Juan in Brazil last year. I saw him again in Ecuador a few months back. We were in Ecuador and Juan was there and Jeff was there. So that's how I run into these guys. But look, these guys have made, you know, in some cases $100 million. They're independent. That's great. Wouldn't you like to have someone in your downline so independent that they're building platinums too? It's great. I'm not a control person anyways, but I want people to stay connected. Get connected, stay connected. Fill your lifetime full of 90-day runs, all right? And tell you what, it's fun doing it when you can partner with someone. Find someone in your downline or your upline and say, hey, I want to do a 90-day run. Let's do this. Because when you do it, like I did it with Jeff Altgilbert, and he sponsored 200 and something people in those 90 days. They weren't all front line. They were like people below people below people. But I was part of it. I can tell you right now, you know, Sue Hymas, Steve Hymas, Gene and Arlene Hubersberger, and that's where Dave Phillips got involved. Dave's passed away, gave his business to his son, Dan Phillips. $180,000 in income every month, not a bad inheritance for not having really done much. You know, I mean, he does some things now, mainly just ads, but you know, Dave built, you know, the groundwork for it. Anyhow, love you guys. 90-day run. Make sure you've got the guide. All right, Fast Start Guide. There it is in English. Fast Start Guide. Read it, learn it. All right, and just follow it. It's a nice, simple 90-day plan. So thank you for joining me this evening. I will turn it back to, who do I turn it back to? Anna or Claudia?
And I can
Yeah, thank you, Dave. Thank you for everything you said. I don't know if you guys took notes. I took lots, you can see. And I wanted to pick some of the best things that you said, but everything was so important. But everything. I have to read it and reread it again because yeah, you are an inspiration for all of us. The thing that you said, that the important thing to do every single day to think about our desire, why we are doing it, is really, really important. I'm realizing that nowadays because, as you said, this is starting every day, and our life is a marathon full of sprints, and the 90-day sprints will be the thing, but always analyzing every single day. And I don't know if you said before, but everything, the 10 people a day, even if could be others people, because sometimes we think we have to talk to 10. For example, if we choose 10, it has to be 10 of mine, and then we probably punish ourselves if we don't do it. And this is just the self-analysis that we have to do in a nice way, and knowing that if we think as a platinum and we act as a platinum, we will become one day, and they will call us at 3 a.m. in the morning to say us, you are a platinum. So thank you so much. Always, I
Anna,
appreciate
even if your
everything.
goal is
I hope
one a day,
everyone.
Anna, even if the goal is just one, all right. The point is, you want to do something every day for those 90 days, because if you don't, guess what? Another day will go by, and another day. Pretty soon, a week goes by, and you haven't done anything. But when you do it each day, you develop the habit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, as I said, everything was really, really important. So thank you, Dave. Thank you so much. And I hope that after these 90 days, a lot of us, or probably all of us, we are hitting new, I don't know, positions or new goals, and we look forward for it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. So thank you, everybody. Little admin for tomorrow. Tomorrow we have our Wednesday opportunity night at the same time and on the same link. But before that, we have Red Hot with Daughtrey and Omar. So don't miss that. Red Hot. Thursday, we have business opportunity. And tomorrow for business opportunity, by the way, is Dave. Again, he's going to be doing the business opportunity. Testimonial is Gabby Daughtrey. She's going to be talking about Bellevue, I think. She might change it, but I think it's Bellevue. And also Claudia Bedoya, our presidential, she is going to be hosting tomorrow. On Thursday, we have Dave with our day, or we like to call it Africa, but mostly like for this side of the planet, the daytime business opportunity. Make sure to bring guests. This is really important because this is the week where you want to put them in. That way you have the rest of the month for everything else that you need to do. So the first week, this is why Dave is working so hard on getting that first week in there. We want to make sure that all your guests are taken care of by no less than the best. So everybody that is in our trainings is very knowledgeable and very prepared, but obviously everybody likes to hear from Dave. So with that, Jillian, I think I'm not forgetting anything, right? Meetings, everything is good. So we're all good to go. Dave, thank you. Let's unmute everybody. And thank you, everybody. Say hi to Dave, please, for me, and send them a lot of hearts. Just hearts, hearts, hearts. He loves seeing the hearts because he puts the
Come on, you guys. 90-day sprint. 90-day sprint. All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, David. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Today.
See y'all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yes.
Great
See
job,
all
Anna.
you.
Thank you,
Bye,
Anna.
Anna, that was amazing, Anna. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
See you guys. God bless.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
See